Always a great time on Cut the Nets, fellas.
You like the intro of your fucking voice? Sorry.
No, that's did you see me like jump back? Like, oh, okay, we're hopping right into this.
We're hopping right in. I told you hopping right in. I like the intro part. I just like the part where we can include the intro without me having to go in post and edit it in. It's great.
Aren't you sweet?
Yeah, love you, StreamYard. You're getting better every day.
Shout out.
I love that duck. What we call the mallard face with the. It's a mallard. Yeah,
it's a mallard duck. Yeah, the
male's
mallard
duck
different, but that's definitely one of the two. Yes,
it's ducking cool, guys.
It's an Oregon duck.
Oregon duck. Hey.
Anyways,
welcome to Cut the Nets, everybody. Welcome to our wonderful, chaotic basketball podcast. We talk about NBA and more stuff, just NBA based stuff, pop culture NBA. Zesty's Cat Voice NBA, who's an all-star. Also, Jalen Brunson, who's an all-star as well. Both starters in the all-star East and West starters. We're going to get to that. We're also going to be talking about Cavs and Rockets. That crazy final 4 minutes of that game was insane. We also will be talking about why we had this debate pre-recording. Why are all-star starters like LeBron, like Steph, like Durant? I mean, maybe LeBron, he's 40. Okay, sure. But Steph Curry and Durant are like 10th and 11th seed in the Western Conference standings, and they're all-star starters. Just grinds my gears a little bit. But we'll be talking about that too. And yeah, and anything else that comes to our minds. Welcome, guys, everybody. I am Jeremy. Andy to my right. Brian to underneath us. How are we doing, guys?
I didn't like the way you finished. Yeah.
only on StreamYard am I at the bottom. Normally I'm a top guy.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm well, Jeremy.
We are. Hey, he said that. I didn't say any. I said geometrically where you guys are at. Okay, you're on my right, Andy. Brian's on my.
This is true. Yes. Okay, I will give you that.
Yeah, I didn't say top or bottom. All right. We'll bleep that out. All right, guys. like kill Tony. We'll be right back.
We'll be right
back. Oh man, how are we doing, guys? How are we doing this week on a Thursday night?
Doing all right. How are you? How you guys?
I'm good. Let's talk some ball. Where should we begin? Should we talk about the Cavs and Rockets?
Well, I was about to say, I think I know why you're good, Jeremy. It's because the Rockets pulled off a heist yesterday against the Cleveland Cavaliers.
We pulled out the rug underneath you guys that shouldn't have been pulled. Okay, should not. First of all, you guys get a gift because of landing space.
Thanks, Tari Eason.
Thanks to Tari Eason, who's a great defender, by the way. One of the best perimeter defenders in the game. He should be in like first team or second team all defense this year, but he's missed some time due to his aggravating leg that he's had. He had surgery on that leg last season, and it's still giving him fits. But yeah, the final. Well, actually, heading into the fourth quarter, the Rockets were up by 10. Looked to seem like the Rockets' defense was really just giving the Cavs problems. But then the Cavs went on this glorious 19-0 run, and I thought that, okay, it's over. The Rockets blow another fourth quarter, even though they've been very, very good this year. Second seed in the West. Okay, second seed in the West. Rockets, they've been able to pull it off. They're able to stand their ground and make sure that they don't blow another fourth quarter, as they've done several times in the season, but not too much compared to last year. But they were up thanks to Şengün, thanks to Fred VanVleet, who's been really good lately, hitting those threes. been great. A lot of fast breaks too. Amen Thompson had a really great fast break. Picked the pocket out of Mitchell's hands, which was beautiful.
Did see that. That was at a key part down the stretch too.
Yeah, key part right at the top.
For our very eyes.
Okay, he's grown up, definitely, but he's also been that defender. He's been that guy. Always will be that guy. Just no one's noticing it because, well, the Rockets are not really a well sought out team right now, thanks to their 3 straight seasons of Hardenless ball. But now, after the first year of Udoka, they should be on everyone's radar. But then The final possession, 2.8 seconds left, or actually, no, 4.1 seconds left. They inbound the ball. Well, before that, the Rockets had a foul to give, so they gave the foul, right?
Yeah, Van Vliet fouled in the corner, I think. He fouled someone, yeah.
So inbound the ball, pass it to Garland, who's wide open, chucks it, kicks his feet out. He kicks his feet out. It could have been a foul on Garland. Could have been. But Tari Eason went too far with his foot, got in his landing space, thanks refs, and gave him 3 free throws. They were down by 2. 3 free throws. Darius Garland's a 90% shooter from the line, by the way. Might have gone down after this. I think he missed like five free throws.
He finished 3 of 8 from the line, I believe.
5 free throws.
I'll double check that real quick. But yeah.
He missed 2 straight out of the 3, and that's all she wrote. That's pretty much all she wrote. The Cavs had another timeout. Also, okay, let me actually get to what really pissed me off. I just remembered this. The refs upgraded that foul to a flagrant 1.
I was going to mention that. I'm glad you
A
brought it.
flagrant 1. Due to Tari Eason's excessive what do you call it? Excessive need to get into Garland's landing space. The play ended up being reckless more than it was initially, upgrading the foul to a common foul to a flagrant 1. You saw Udoka's face, man. Clearly that was some BS right there. Absolutely crap. These refs are soft. Refs are extremely soft.
That's the Zaza rule. That's how it is. I don't agree with it either. I'm in a group chat full of Cavs fans that all texted me, how is that a flagrant, with like 9,000 laughing emojis? Because, we were feeling good at that time for obvious reasons. But that's the rule that's instituted, whether you like it or not. We can thank Zaza Pachulia doing that to Kawhi in 2017, whenever that was.
2017.
Whether you agree with it or not, because I personally thought, if the roles were reversed, if like Evan Mobley stepped into Jalen Green's space and that happened or whatever, my God, I'd be screaming on this podcast right now. So I feel you, Jeremy. That was, but hey.
If we go back though to the play where Kawhi Leonard pretty much ended his career with the Spurs, he didn't kick his feet.
He did not kick his feet out. He went up and Zaza took the extra.
Yeah, it was from the corner. And so I don't know what the ref saw, but Garland clearly kicked his feet. Clearly. So still, it should not have been upgraded.
That Trae Young foul baiting.
I guess. But that's now classified as a flopping foul or like a legal move. But yeah, no, then I was like, all right, game's over. Garland's a 90% free throw shooter. He misses 2 straight free throws.
No clutch gene.
Yeah, just like in the past, no clutch gene.
Cavs did have one more chance to win because it was a flagrant, so we kept possession of the ball.
Then it was a good contest from was it Mitchell who got the shot? Try to get the shot.
Donovan Mitchell got that shot in the corner, missed everything, and the follow-up opportunity. I think like DG got it, and there was no results.
Good contest.
What was the score at that point?
Good closeout, 108-109.
Oh, so the Rockets were up by 1 at the time.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I feel like before we started recording, you seemed pretty chill about that loss. Now you're like you're kind of singed a little bit. Like, did I ruffle some feathers?
I know I said before, the Cavs are still sitting firmly in first place, right? We're 5.5 games up on the Celtics, all this and that. And then you really think about it, and losing sucks, guys. And especially in the way that we did, because it's the whole snatching defeat from the jaws of victory, the reverse of what it normally should be. I think there's a couple things that the Cavs shouldn't be too upset over that game solely on. I mean, being without Evan Mobley, I think people are starting to see how valuable he is to the team. Not that the Rockets are a bad team by any means. I mean, even with Mobley, that's a close game no matter what. But seeing how much Şengün was able to kind of get in, especially towards the end of the game, and make his presence known in the paint. If we have our other 7-footer out there who is in top 10 in all-star voting, I think that does make a difference. I mean, other than that, there's so many things you could point to that the Cavs could have done better. A lot of the bench contributions weren't what they would be. I think Strus only had 5. Nobody scored double figures outside of DG, Donovan, Jared Allen, and I think Ty Jerome had another big game, as Ty
He
Jerome
did.
seems to be doing a lot these days. Again, that was my X factor that I kept talking about. You could point to a bunch of different things, but like I think as a Cavs fan, and even as someone that's trying to step away from having all the bias towards the Cleveland Cavaliers, I thought it was still a pretty good game against a top 2 team in the West. The Rockets are on the rise for a reason, and if people in Cleveland and whoever else were able to watch that game or the next time the Rockets are on national TV don't realize that, like, I think, no disrespect in saying this, Jeremy, but a couple years ago, losing to the Rockets like that, that's like, how did you lose to the Rockets? Now it's like, well, no, the Rockets are going to be here to stay. Maybe not going to put it together this year, but if we get to 2026, maybe we're going to party like it's 2016 again, and it'll be the Thunder, Cavs, and Rockets all vying at the top of the leaderboard again.
Oh my God, beautiful! Just youngins duking it out like that. I love it.
Good times, right? Yeah. So trying to control my temper a little bit, and it seems like
it's a regular season game. Also, the Celtics are just they're just cruising. Okay, if they really wanted to play just as hard, they would be neck and neck with you guys with records.
Don't say that.
They're cruising, bro.
Don't say that.
They're cruising.
The Celtics are the Celtics. Yeah.
Okay.
Joe Mazzulla knows what he's doing. And
yeah, he does.
They've been without a couple guys. Porzingis was out for a little bit. Someone else was hurt.
I think JB was also out for a bit as well.
That's who it was. Okay.
Yeah. Before we switch over, I kind of want to talk a little bit about Jalen Green. Just kind of pop in my head a little bit. Since I talked about his struggles with the Rockets last week, he went on a sizzling run of games. I think it was all of January. He just went completely off. Was at one point averaging 30 points per game in about 6 games. He's kind of tapered off a little bit. I thought he was gonna really touch his ceiling and potential. He only had 10 points against the Cavs, and which is not bueno at all. I was really hoping he would continue that Jalen Greenness of just crafty moving, athleticism, explosiveness. Really good with the step back threes, but he went 4 for 16, meaning he missed a lot of 2-pointers. Was only 2 for 6 from deep, which isn't terrible, but it just feels like he's tapering off a little bit. And I did mention that last podcast that he should be packaged in a trade deal to get Devin Booker or some franchise player who can give you 25 points a night, any given night. After this sizzling stretch and then tapering off against the Pistons a little bit and then really falling back to earth against Cleveland, is this just a little fluke? Do you think he's still gonna get back to where he used to be? Like, we've seen this from Jalen Green every single year, ever since he got drafted. He has like those sizzling months or, given number of weeks where he's going off. Like, what else can we see? What else should we see from him?
Yeah, the first thing I'll say is it's I guess a good sign for the Rockets. It's not a good sign that one of your, someone that's going to be your franchise player didn't have the best game against a really good opponent. But you guys still won because I think it just shows how deep the roster can go. I mean, what did Fred VanVleet damn near had 30? I didn't expect
but you never get a good game consecutively from Fred. He's usually his best is not hitting 30 points. At his best, it's not going 7 for 11 from deep or whatever points he got. Let me see. How many points did he get against Cleveland?
27, maybe? I forget.
He got 26 points. 26. You don't get that from Fred. You don't. At this stage in his career, he is a veteran point guard facilitator. He'll get you good on assists. He went 7 for 12 from deep. No. It's not going to happen.
That's not happening. Yeah,
it's not going to happen. He's shooting 34.4% from downtown. There's no way he's getting. I mean, that's a little bit lower compared to his standards. He usually shoots around 37, 38, but still, he's not that guy. He's your facilitator. He's your guy that makes other players better on his play calling, on his passing. I wouldn't say, if you need a bucket from him to start a run, sure. I'll give you that. But you can't do it consecutively on a given night. You're Jalen Green. You're the number 2 overall pick for almost 4 years ago. You're supposed to have them. Fred went undrafted, okay? Cade Cunningham is finally becoming the player that Detroit believed he would be. Where are you, Jalen? Let's see you do that.
Yeah.
No, he hasn't done that.
You need Fred VanVleet to supplement the play of Jalen Green, not the other way around. And that doesn't always happen, unfortunately, because of these, like you said, kind of the spurts he gets on where Jalen Green looks like every bit of that number 2 overall pick the Rockets found on him. And then sometimes he doesn't. Is it time to jump ship? Unfortunately, there's not much more time to figure that out before his trade value starts tanking more than it starts going up.
He's getting RJ Barrett syndrome.
He's better than RJ Barrett, bro. Better.
now, yeah.
No, he's always been better than RJ Barrett.
Slow your roll.
RJ Barrett just happened to be on a better team before he left. Okay, he had Julius, he had Brunson for a little bit before he went to
also
Toronto.
Wasn't saying one was better than the other. I was just comparing situations. Top 3 picks that they were supposed to be the guy and haven't been.
The Rockets were a bottom-seeded team after Harden. Okay.
We were a bottom team after Melo.
Yeah, but you had players like Frank Ntilikina. You had players like
fuck him.
you had players like Kevin Knox. Like, dude,
you had Jock Landale.
Jock Landale. Actually, Jock Landale was on the Rockets when the Rockets got better. So
that's your boy Eric Gordon too.
He's been on the Rockets since 2016. He's been a key player during the Harden era.
And Uncle Jeff Green.
You're naming good players who are on good teams.
Not good.
Yeah, Jeff Green was on the Rockets after he won his chip with Denver. He was on the Rockets the first season when they made it to 500.
Yeah, Jeff Green's just trying to collect his jerseys to complete the rainbow.
I mean, yeah.
He's got to be there by now. What is his 13th?
He's got to be there. He's got to be there, dude. He's got to be there. Yeah. But anyway, I'm still gonna see what Jalen Green does. I'm still on the side of let's trade him because he just signed an extension, and I think it was a great contract. I think it was like 3 or 4 years, $106 million. It's a great contract. It's very tradable. It's not going to waste anybody's time or any team's time, like the Suns have done with Bradley Beal. It's a very good contract. He's still very young. He could be on the wrong system. He could be on a team where he flourishes and becomes the player that he is. Which, if he does, I'll be pretty pissed. But still, he has tradable value, and we'll get some good assets back, like a promising shooting guard or a guard that's already made it there and is on a bad situation like the Suns or like the Kings. I mean, the Kings have been better. The Suns have been a little bit better, but still, they're not. The Kings should be better, by the way. They should be a lot better. They haven't passed their first round exit 2 seasons ago. That type of skill level. But yeah, that's kind of my shtick on Jalen Green. He needs to have more consistency, and he did, and now it's kind of falling back to earth. And I'm not sure if it's going to go back unless he plays, I don't know, another bad team like the Blazers or something. Andy, what are your bets on the Cavs game and Rockets rematch in Cleveland?
I have no idea what the line is. I have no idea who's favored. I would imagine the Cavs are by a slim margin.
I think the Cavs are favored.
Yeah. I think we're going to try out the same roster. I don't think Evan Mobley's coming back. But seeing how close it was, and I thought we got a bit of subpar performances from a couple key contributors in the team, I'll take the Cavs to win the rematch in another close one. I think the scoring will be about the same. I mean, it probably won't come the same way. I don't think that Fred VanVleet's going to lead all scorers.
No.
I don't think that's going to happen again. I think Jalen Green's going to have a nice comeback game. It seems like Şengün got really physical towards the end of that game. So I wonder if some of the Cavs are going to, push back a little bit more. It wasn't physical in a bad way. I think Şengün was just trying to say, like, I'm not this kid anymore. I'm not baby Jokic. I'm Alperen Şengün. Call me by my actual name.
He's called the Wizard now in Houston. He's called the Wizard.
I like
Please.
that better. He's kind of his own player, despite he's got the same archetype as Jokic. He's got his own little thing that he's got going on. I think he should be himself. We should all be ourselves. Deep down.
Okay, motivational podcast.
Yeah, that
or
got too
something?
deep. That's on me. My bad.
All right. So I think Şengün will pop off in the next game. I think he will take further advantage of Mobley's absence. Absence.
There you go.
I don't know why I said absent. I'm an alcoholic, guys. But yeah, I think he'll take further advantage of Mobley's absence. I mean, he's faced what? Just Jared Allen. That's it. Who else? George Niang.
Tristan Thompson played like 15 minutes the other night. But hey, Jared Allen's not that's it. Hold on a second.
Allen's a good player. I just said if you just have Allen in the paint.
Okay. All right. That's fair. Because I can understand if the next
Where's Mobley?
If the next big man coming in to defend you is however old Tristan Thompson is.
If the next big man is going to be like what's his name? Max Strus? No.
Yeah, those switches aren't going to go well for us if it's going to be like a Strus or
Dean Wade.
Dean Wade's got the length, but he's nowhere near as big as Şengün, so that's going to end poorly as well.
Yeah. I think Jalen Green will start to show his true colors again, and people will kind of resent him for who he is. Because against really good teams, he's done moderately well. Like against the Lakers, he did really well, but it's the Lakers. Like Charles Barkley always says, especially now these days, the Lakers stink. Like they're just full of old guys.
That, yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Been practicing. But yeah, the Cavs are like OKC. They do really well, and they're young and they're scrappy and they're coached very brilliantly by Kenny Atkinson. And I just feel like Green's just not cut out for that. I just don't think so. He's only cut out for teams that have moderately okay coaches that are a good team, but aren't like a great team. Because Cavs defense is stifling.
We'll see on Saturday. Yeah, without Mobley, it definitely takes it down a notch. But I think the perimeter defense, I thought it did a pretty good job the night prior in terms of that. So I guess we're just gonna have to see.
We're gonna have to see.
Yeah.
Okay, let's switch gears over to Brian. We're going to be talking about the East and West All-Stars. Let's start with the East. Brian, your 1-2 punch. Center, point guard, Jalen Brunson, and Zesty Cat are the starters for your NBA East All-Stars. Thoughts?
I mean, I'm happy for them. It's well-deserved. I mean, like Andy said about him being in a group chat, I'm in a group chat with a bunch of my Knicks fan friends from school. And one of my friends was one of my friends was celebrating this like they won the finals. He's like, enough to make a grown man cry. And that honestly might be a New York championship, let alone having one All-Star. We had two. I couldn't tell you if ever that's happened before. So yeah, getting Karl Anthony Towns and then big body Brunson, as Kendrick Perkins calls him, in the All-Star game. It's great. Like, I'm tremendously happy for them, especially Brunson. I mean, he's the second round pick, All-Star starter, other than Jokic. So extremely happy for him. Happy for Cat. Both of them have earned it and balling tremendously this year. Mm-hmm. But like, other than happy for them, I don't really care. I think the NBA All-Star game as a whole and that weekend has just gone down in recent years, and we'll get into why later. But as a Knicks fan, I'm looking forward more into what they're doing in June, as opposed to like May and June, as opposed to what happens for a short weekend in February, March. So happy for them, but that's, if the All-Star game is the most exciting thing that happens for the Knicks this season, then we got bigger issues on our hands.
Yeah, we got bigger issues ahead.
That's the right mindset to have, because another one of the East starters is Donovan Mitchell, which is cool. It's a great nod for him, and I'm sure we're at least going to get like a Garland. But Mobley and Allen are, I think, too far down in the fan voting, but it'd be cool. It's not like something to start going crazy over. It's cool. I mean, I will say for the Knicks, I couldn't tell you the last time they had two All-Star starters. I mean, Willis Reed and Walt Frazier, maybe. That's the first.
Yeah, I couldn't even tell you the last time they had two starters in general. Like maybe Melo and Stoudemire or something. I don't even know.
Yeah, maybe. Last time
two All-Stars. Stoudemire, an All-Star starter, he was pretty much injured for most of his Knicks career.
I know Melo and Rose didn't, I don't think. So I don't even know.
Yeah, it's a big moment still. I think you have the right mindset though. It's not about February. It's about May and into June.
It's about, well, that too, but the idea of becoming an all-star is really what's most important. The game, the festivities don't really count. They don't really matter because they're just irrelevant these days. So, but
It's a
just
little fun.
they're fine. The 3-point
Oh, I'm
contest
an
is
idiot. It was last year. Brunson and Randall
Oh.
were the last time they had two players
okay.
on the
We'll be right back.
Swing and a miss.
We'll be
Shoot.
right back. Man. Funny enough, compared to the West, we're going to get to the West and my gripes about the West All-Star starters. But it's very fitting to see that the East All-Star starters have teams that are top 4 seeds. It's very fitting.
Yeah.
Bucks, Cavs, you got Boston, and you got the Knicks. That's it.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Giannis,
That makes
Tatum,
perfect
Towns.
freaking sense. I mean, it's the best teams with players that really make an impact on that team with their stats. Boom.
Okay,
All-star
so
starter.
why don't you tell us who the West starters are, Jeremy, and then get into what is grinding your gears, as you'd say.
Grinding my gears, man. I mean, I'm not mad that a Rockets player is not an all-star starter. Obviously, Şengün better be reserve. Okay,
I'll be out.
I'm coming for you. Whoever votes these reserves, I'm coming for you. All right. Okay. I'm taking you down. I'm gonna hunt you down. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm scared too. It's not even me, but I'm scared.
See his eyes?
Yeah, I cannot.
His eyes
not
have been through
see them.
experience of hunting people down. I'm not a PI. All right. So the West All-Star starters. Well, okay, here's the thing. Nobody expected the Rockets and the Grizzlies to be a top 3 seed. Nobody expected it. They thought the Mavericks would be up there. They thought maybe the Nuggets would be playing a little bit better overall. They probably thought maybe the Wolves, because they got Randall and DiVincenzo from Cat, and they've been horrible with that. Not a bad team, but just not as good as last season. Probably going to get another replica of history repeating itself of Kevin Garnett taking them to one Western Conference final and then getting bounced in the first round every other year until he went to Boston. And before that too. But yeah, the Western All-Star starters. I'm distracting. I'm going off tangent. LeBron James, your boy, Andy, your boy, LeBron James, 40-year-old LeBron James. 40-year-old LeBron. Is there a 40-year-old All-Star starter in the last 20 years? No, I don't think so.
There's no way.
If you went down to the 60s and the 70s, maybe. I couldn't tell you who. But an all-star starter at age 40?
Kareem at the tail end of his career, maybe
Kareem.
Okay,
maybe.
so
I want to maybe, but
I click on this link. Okay, yeah, Kareem was 41. I don't know if he started or not, but he was an all-star.
I know he was an all-star.
41.
I don't know if he started. You have to dig deeper into that.
We'll put a little thing here somewhere.
You can find it, and after you find it, after I go on my rant, you can talk about it. Tell me about it, okay?
Right.
So LeBron James on a 5th seed Lakers team, which fine, all right. Look, I feel like the Lakers are doing worse than they actually are what their record says, but still, they're a good team, top 5 seed. It's just that he's 40, and yeah, Nikola Jokic, okay. He was a back-to-back MVP. He's been putting up MVP numbers. He's the sole reason why the Nuggets are, I believe, a top 5 seed. Let me see here. Yeah, 4th seed, 27-16, 4th seed. Okay, you have Steph Curry. We all love Steph Curry. He makes things.
Magical.
Come on, guys. Steph Curry. He makes it look
magical.
Easy.
He makes it look effortless. Come on, guys. Come on, TNT.
Okay, all right.
TNT.
That's what you wound us up for? Come on.
Come on, y'all. TNT. It's Steph Curry, one of the greatest players of all time, 4-time champion, unanimous MVP, one of the greatest players of all time. This would have been fine a couple of years ago, at least. But the Warriors are not even in the playoff seeding. They are the 11th seed in the Western Conference. And Steph Curry gets to be an all-star starter? Okay. That is the first red flag in this lineup.
He's got more. Don't worry. We had to hear it
Shea.
already.
Perfect choice. Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, an MVP candidate, probably should win the MVP if Jokic weren't standing in the way. This year, too, definitely MVP candidate. First seed Thunder, makes perfect sense. Love it. Love that choice. You go Shea. Kevin Durant. Kevin freaking Durant.
Oh, he's mad about this one.
One of the greatest players of our generation as well. The Snake, 2-time NBA champion. The Snake, Kevin Durant, who just said that his best NBA seasons he's ever played on was in Brooklyn. He said that in a post-game interview, just like I think it was today or yesterday. He said that the best time he's played in the NBA was in Brooklyn, not OKC or the Warriors. Man, it's gonna ruffle some feathers there. You can fact check me on that. That happened. He said those words. It was not AI. All right. The Suns are the 10th seed, and Kevin Durant is an all-star starter. What are we doing, guys? What are we doing here? Like, why is this? Why can't we have, I don't know, a team like, let's see, what can we look at here? Let's a team like the Grizzlies. Where's John Morant? I mean, I don't know John Morant is not as good as he was in years prior, but he's one of the reasons why the Grizzlies are a really good team. Clippers. I mean, well, obviously James Harden is not. His stats aren't that great compared to his Rockets days, but I guess that's why. Anthony Edwards, he's shooting more threes. You have De'Aaron Fox, who's for the Kings. I mean, yeah, I could see why. I guess they are choosing those players because the stats are bigger than the stats of teams that are really good, but they don't have players that are have high scoring stats. But man, pick other players, man. Just because they're LeBron James, Steph Curry, and Kevin Durant doesn't mean that they should be all-star starters. They shouldn't. This is just a cash grab because the NBA All-Star Game is such an irrelevant event now. Like, no one watches them anymore.
I don't disagree. I will say that part of it is definitely a cash grab. I mean, when you have those three names on one team, like it's going to bring in viewers no matter what. But I do think a lot of people underestimate. I'm not saying this is like the most knowledgeable basketball fan ever, okay? But there are a lot more casual fans than I think a lot of people like to admit. Because some people refuse to believe that they're one, that they only care about the big names that they got to play with who were over 95 overall in 2K or whatever it is.
In 2K17.
Yeah, God. We never knew how good we had it, did we?
I know, it's a great game.
Yeah. I don't know. I get your point on, like, I can kind of see your point on KD because but here's the thing. Personally, I'd be okay if KD wasn't a starter, but I'd put Wemby on there, who's below them in the rankings. I don't think that should factor in as much as you think it is. That's just me, though. I want to hear from Brian on this too.
Yeah, I agree.
Been
I agree.
quiet. Been very quiet. Dude.
Well, for the first 20 minutes, you were talking about a Cavs-Rockets game.
And here we have our correspondent, Brian Ramos.
I agree with Andy. I mean, I think, like I said earlier, like the All-Star game has been bad, and I think they're trying to fix it with not even to please the casual fan. I mean, I just think it's the bigger names. You want the biggest name in your sport. I mean, All-Star Weekend. It's NBA's All-Star Weekend. It doesn't interfere with the NFL. It doesn't interfere with like the MLB. It doesn't interfere with the NHL. It's the All-Star Weekend. It's probably the one like calendar weekend where it's the NBA. They want their biggest names for a reason. But like you also have to remember too is like who's voting these people in, and like out of the list, I think the only like questionable name is Durant. For reasons Andy kind of alluded to, like Wemby's could be a solid choice. I'm surprised Anthony Edwards didn't get in.
Yeah.
I don't really have an issue with the other names, but it's also a fan popular vote. So like everyone's voting on like who they want. So, like standings shouldn't really matter. I think stats do also implement it a little bit, but it's really and like if you look at some of these names, like it's also big market teams like Tatum, Cat, Brunson, LeBron. I'm still saying they're very deserving of it, but they're in the biggest markets in the country. So I think that also plays a little bit in a role of New York, Boston, and LA. And I just think that like for those reasons, they want it. And like I still even think, like Jeremy, you were saying, like standings should implement it. I don't really think so because the Washington Wizards have six wins this year. If Kyle Kuzma was averaging 35 points per game, and I'm not saying like legitimate, like he's not shooting 15% from the field and getting those
Yeah,
35 points. If he legitimately is like balling that hard or that well, he could be an all-star
he should be
starter.
traded, but
Well, yeah, he should be also he should also be traded. But I'm just saying, like, I just think it's more. I don't really think standing should implement it because at the end of the day, All Star is an individual award or recognition. It's how well you play and team success. It's not like a sport like basketball is a team sport. I mean, all 5 guys on the court and then all 8 to 12 guys that get on the court, they all impact the game one way or the other. So I think it should be more of an individual recognition.
yes, but if they're a starter, that's what I'm trying to say. You can put Kuzma if he's averaging 30 on a lowly Wizards team who only has 6 wins as a reserve. That's fine. I don't care about that. I don't have any issue with that. I mean, at least I thought that that's what they were going to be. That's what was happening. But I guess you have half the vote from the fans, and you have half the votes from the coaching,
Like coaches, or is it like beat writers?
Media.
Maybe
beat
I don't
writers,
know.
media. Yeah. Well, was it half coach? Sorry, half players. I'm dumb. Sorry, half fans and then half media.
If I remember correctly, I think it's majority fan vote, and then if there's any like tiebreakers or stuff, it comes down to who had more of the media poll, like the
Okay.
media,
And then the
the beat
coaches put the
writers aspect.
reserves, right? The coaches.
Yes,
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah. No, it's the coaches. I was listening to Ime Udoka and how like there's reports asking if Şengün should be an all-star, and he was talking about if the coaches, if the coaches will allow that, and he should be an all-star or something like that or whatever.
Okay.
So yeah. Speaking of which, when Jalen Green was on that sizzling run, there were so many Rockets fans damn near like touting that he should be like considered an all-star, and I'm like, yeah, hold your horses, pump the brakes, please. It's only 8 games. He's not. He's having more of a Jalen sanity, basically.
God, that was good.
Yeah, Jalen sanity.
We got to get you to have like a weekly update on Jalen Green. It doesn't have to be a whole segment, but at least like, oh, is he playing like Jalen Green or is he playing like he should be?
this was me with RJ.
I think
Barrett
I think
last
I've
year.
Yeah.
mentioned that. I think
It was
I've
huge.
mentioned in our previous episodes we've mentioned that like how Jalen Green isn't the player that he should be.
We should at least just read his stats aloud and then see if it's like,
Okay.
oh yeah, just a thought.
just a thought. But yeah. So for reserves, I think Şengün should be on there. Obviously, you got De'Aaron Fox, Devin Booker, Sabonis, Edwards.
They'll put another Thunder player on there probably.
Yeah. What, Jalen Williams?
J-Dub probably, yeah.
Yeah. So, and I'm sure that the coaches will choose wisely. These fans. Remember when they put, what was it, Zaza Pachulia in the All-Star?
I remember it like
Back
it was
then.
yesterday. The fan voting was a lot of fun back then.
It was unbelievable. What a troll. Ugh.
Alex Caruso was an all-star or close to an all-star
It
too.
was. I wouldn't be okay. I would be okay with that. I'd be okay with that. They should really, really count some defensive stats, but casual fans don't see that.
No.
Anyways, let's move on. Brian mentioned here we want to talk about Brandon Miller, out for the year. Had wrist surgery today, or scheduled wrist surgery. He's out for the year. Is this just like another curse for the Hornets? I mean, you have LaMelo Ball who's balling out, doing extremely well. He had injuries in the prior history, mainly because he's a Ball. He's part of the Ball family who deal with a bunch of injuries.
They do that.
But man, the Hornets, they've always been bad. They've always been bad. But Brandon Miller had a solid season last year. He was a finalist for Rookie of the Year. Now he's out for the year, this year. I mean, I really don't think there's much to say. The Hornets are they're going to Hornet, but they're going to be bad. They're going to be a bad team. They haven't been good since that one lone year with Kemba Walker when they made it to the first round. But I don't really see any sort of return back to like I don't know, the Allen Houston of the world, or the 90s Hornets.
Johnson, Alonzo Mourning.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I just feel so bad for the Hornet fans, because it's exactly like you said. Like, Brandon Miller has been quietly like good this season, and then like obviously pairing with LaMelo Ball, and like I just feel so bad because it's just like it's such a throwback of like LaMelo Ball, kind of like Kemba Walker, like the guy, and then just surrounded by a bunch of duds, and then
Yeah.
they're never, and that's now the case with the Hornets. Like, they're just never going to be, and like the thing is with the Hornets, each year in year out, like they've never been bad enough to get a top 3 pick to like land a franchise guy or like a budding guy to LaMelo, and then like obviously no one's going to want to sign there, so it's like they're not really bringing in elite talent either. So it's just
Yeah,
like
no.
that stuck. There's like just like that stuck in that mediocrity because they're never even like a play-in now. Now with the play-in rules, they're like not even a play-in team, and they're not even like bad enough to have a top 3 pick. And like the NBA has gotten very harsh with tanking, in like this year and last year. But like this year's the best year to tank with guys like Dylan Harper, Ace Bailey, Cooper Flag, and they're not even in that running right now either. So I would hate to be a Hornet fan because it's just that stuck in mediocre. Not I mean they are ass, but like stuck in like an ass mediocre of like can't get a top 3 pick and they're not.
I mean, you got the Charlotte, like, North Carolina fans only caring about their college teams. That's all that
And North
matters.
Carolina
blame
sucks
them?
too, and I'm a Tar Heel fan, and they suck too.
Yeah, Duke's got it all right, but of course, if you're a UNC fan, you're not a Duke fan. That's besides the point.
Yeah.
Brian, you kind of said it though. I mean, Charlotte rarely gets any national TV games. It feels like,
Rightfully so.
Dude, sorry, I don't mean to like jump
No,
in, but
yeah,
the announcer is in the wrong city.
Oh,
Jones.
Eric Collins is
So
an
good.
NBA announcer.
The goated NBA announcer should be on primetime.
He should be.
Terry, 2 beauties. Oh, baby. Whatever he says.
He's
got
so
many
good.
different
He's
things.
so good. He's like the
He's
only
awesome.
good thing in Charlotte. That should get out. Leave.
Yeah, he's something else. I don't know. Like I said, though, they have no national TV, hardly any national TV games. Their superstars seem to always get injured or come down with something, want to get traded, whatever it is. Like, if you're a free agent, and just take all the biases out of your mind of where you'd want to play and stuff like that. If they offered you a contract, what is bringing you there other than the money? Literally just the money. And that's not a knock on the city of Charlotte. I'm from Cleveland. I
Nice
can't do a lot of
views.
knocking
Charlotte's
like that.
beautiful, I guess.
Charlotte's a
I don't know.
great city. But
Nice.
like, in terms of the franchise and the organization, they haven't been good in the past. They're not good now. And I don't know how they're going to be good in the future.
And Michael Jordan's not the owner. I mean, this might help them, but Michael Jordan's not the owner.
They might be better because of that.
Do you think that was the cancer? Really? I mean, it's only 1 year removed, and they're still bad. But
I mean, there's a lot of bad to it, but you can put part on him for it. Yeah.
I mean, he was part of the ownership group and front office that was instrumental in that 7-59 lockout team during 2011-2012.
Bobcats.
When they were the Bobcats. Maybe they got to go back to the Bobcats. I don't know what it is. Maybe they're
Nobody ever liked that name, dude.
They need a Josh McRoberts type of a feel. Al
Josh
Jefferson.
McRoberts is an insane name to mention on this podcast.
It's a deep cut. That's a freaking deep cut. I haven't heard of it.
I was thinking Torrey Maggette, Gerald Wallace. Kemba Walker, I think, was a Bobcat at least for a couple years before they switched back to the Hornets.
Yeah. He was a rookie.
But
Adam
Josh
Morrison
McRoberts is diabolical. Wow.
Dude. Unbelievable. Absolute insanity, bro.
Raymond Felton, at least? No?
What?
Oh, man.
Oh, fuck Fatty Felton.
Brevin Knight. They had a lot of short point guards, and I think about it.
Yeah. They did.
They had a type. Maybe that's why they lost. I don't know. Who cares?
Tyler Zeller.
Just take a moment to think about Tyler Zeller. How does it make you
feel? Is it Tyler or Cody?
Wait, Cody, I think. See, I get those confused.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think it was Cody.
I get them confused.
It was Cody Zeller.
Wasn't it? Cody Zeller. One of the Zellers.
One of them was a Cav. That was Tyler.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. You're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
On our 1963
one of
team,
the Plumleys as well. Yeah.
More of them every day.
Both, I think, did.
Yeah, both Plumleys. Yeah.
Isn't there a third one?
Mason, Marshall, and then maybe.
How many other M names are there?
Mike.
Yeah, sure. Yes, yeah, that was
Hey,
dumb.
if you wanna be able to try and see if you can ask any NBA player who's played on the Hornets and want to try to get a hold of him, just ask Gordon Hayward and figure out why he signed a deal with them. Just ask.
True.
He's a streamer. He streams, so I don't know if he's streaming, regularly these days, but he used to stream a lot.
Let's just go hop over there. Let's just
Yeah. Let's just
Let's
end this pod right now. Let's go over there right now. Yeah.
We'll be right back.
Yeah, we'll be right back. All right. So enough of that. Sixers 7-game losing streak, guys. You guys remember? Actually, did I make the Sixers a top 4 seed? I think I did.
I thought you were a hater of them this year. I could be wrong though.
No, I supported the Paul George signing. I think I gave him a top 4 seed.
How do you feel about that now?
I didn't.
I feel horrible.
Yeah.
Absolutely horrible. I didn't expect Embiid to go on this tirade of him being injured and him being like pouty, having an attitude, and then I didn't expect
Jeremy, this is the process that they've entrusted.
Tyrese, I didn't expect him. Didn't expect him to go down as well. George, I expected to go down. He's always injury prone. The Rockets, for like a split second, we're going to sign that guy, which I would have been so against. But yeah, the Sixers, man, they really the Sixers were like the molehill that never really had a big peak, like a small little molehill. That makes sense, man, because they had such good momentum, especially grabbing Butler in 2019. Didn't re-sign him for some reason. Decided to get Tobias Harris instead, which is Tobias Harris over me. Crazy. And that was pretty much.
Tobias Harris is having a better year last year than Paul George is having this year.
He's back in Detroit, right?
Yeah, he is back in Detroit. That's part of the reason why Detroit's so good. Is Tobias Harris is like just he's doing his job.
Tobias Harris is a good player. He's not a great player. He's good. He just isn't injury prone. He'll give you exactly the contract that you signed him for, but he's not going to do anything significant aside from maybe now being a veteran and teaching the young guys in Detroit some good basketball, which we'll get into. The Pistons are playing some good basketball.
Yeah, he had a big 9 points in their win against the Raptors.
A big 9 points. Hey, it's all about veteran leadership too. It's not about how many points you score if you're Tobias Harris at this stage in your career. It's not about scoring a bunch of points.
You can't quantify leadership, Brian. Don't you know it's not on a stat sheet?
It's true.
Yeah, I don't know. The only thing I'll say about the Sixers, I mean, Jeremy, you kind of laid it out as it is. Their only saving grace this year was the rookie Jared McCain coming out hot.
Oh man, the TikTok guy, and he's gone too. Man, I was so high on him too. I was so high on that guy. I was like, people are making fun of this guy because he's doing TikTok dances. Okay, all right. I'm like, y'all wait. Y'all watch. He's gonna shock the world, and he did.
He was probably gonna win Rookie of the Year if he stayed.
He probably was. I mean, the rookie class is not that great, anyways.
Oh, it's awful.
You got Zachary and Alex Sarr averaging like 10 and 7, which is meh.
But at least there's Zach Edey. We all just collectively groan.
Yeah, you got Stephon Castle like second in Rookie of the Year voting right now.
Yeah, he's up there. I like him.
He's good. He's good. Reed Shepard's kind of a bust right now. I'm really disappointed in that.
Yeah, that was pretty brutal.
I'm sad. he fooled me in the summer league. I think he's like going to be a good player, but not as good as everyone's going to perceive him to be because he scored a lot and did really well in the G League. It's just the NBA defense is different, size and predictability are a huge factor in the NBA with rookies who can't make the jump, who can't make the adjustments. So, but yeah, the Sixers really. I mean, they have a good coach too, Nick Nurse, for wasting his ass. Yeah. It sucks. I thought that with Nick Nurse as the coach, their recent success with Embiid and then Tyrese and then James for a little bit there. They had some stuff. They had something going, even though they didn't go very far. They had something going with the playoffs. But now it's like, man, they are seriously they seriously need to look in the mirror and themselves and be like, okay, should we just blow this up again, or should we just, I don't know, make some necessary pieces to help him beat and not make him whine every game.
Yeah, I mean, I have a different approach to you guys. I'm loving every second of this
Oh, I bet.
76er
Oh, the Knicks
downfall.
fan. Shocker, yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
man, Philadelphia, New York. How generic, how original,
Listen,
man.
we named Jeremy. Part of the reason you wanted to name it "Cut the Nets" is because you wanted the Nets downfall. Let's name it "Cut the Sixer" because now I want the 76er downfall. I see all these memes. Of like, you're a sick. You've probably seen them too. Like, you're a sick individual if you're enjoying this. I am a sick individual for enjoying the 76er downfall. You might as well say I have COVID. That's how much I'm loving this.
Put him in the hospital.
That's how much I
man.
love this. I mean, I've never liked Joel Embiid, and now they're saying he might even have to retire or it's shut down for the year. That's what they're talking about. The Paul George, I knew that was gonna be a bust. I mean, listen, what's the old saying? Play stupid games, win stupid prizes. Get an aging hospital guy for a team that needs to be having young surrounding talent. They're done. They're done. Their championship window ended as soon as they moved on from Jimmy Butler. They should have. I know Kawhi Leonard had that circus shot to end their season. They still should have beat the Raptors in that series. They haven't really been a legitimate contender in my eyes since then. So I am loving this 76er downfall, and I hope it continues for many more years to come. And maybe this was the trust the process Joel Embiid said a decade ago. I love that. I'm loving every second of this.
Now 10 years, the process has
Damn,
been
Brian, lay into him then. Okay.
Hey, grow.
Wow.
That's going to be a short form content on TikTok or Instagram.
Grow.
Or
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
All right, Philly, be nice to me.
Yeah. I mean, look, I was on the side of Philly being good because George played 74 games last year. He was a pretty significant player on the Clippers last year, even though they didn't
He was
go very
very durable
far.
last year.
He was very durable, and I thought that would continue to Philadelphia, and well, that really didn't. And also, his shooting splits have gone down to like near his rookie lows, or his beginning years with Indiana, like 42% from the field. He's also shooting the 30. Sorry, my bad. Wrong tab. Yeah, 42% from the field and 35.5% from deep. I mean, last year he was 47 and 41. Yeah, it's as bad as it's been since the 2013-2014 Pacers when he was actually doing pretty good. That was pretty much his breakout year, but still, it was only 21.7. It wasn't like he was the best player on that team. He had Danny Granger as well, David West. I mean, he had some really good players on that team. Roy Hibbert before he fell off too.
Okay.
But
fuck that guy.
Still.
Oh.
Anyways, yeah, I was that was definitely a what's up?
No, I was saying because Andy reacted when I said fuck Roy Hibbert. Next, we're gonna win the East or go to the conference finals if he didn't play like Akeem Olajuwon in that one playoff series.
Oh yeah,
with the Georgetown, they're good at those
2013.
Those big men, man. Jeez. I don't know what it is.
Fuck George.
Speaking of the Pistons that we mentioned about, the Pistons, man, they are a completely different team than last year so far. They are, I believe, over 500 or even. I believe
the season ended right now. They're actually they're
avoiding 2 games over
the playoffs, right?
Yeah, they're 6 in the East.
Over in the 6th seed.
They're a playoff. If the season ended right now, they'd be in the playoffs.
Yeah,
it's great.
Detroit Pistons.
Freaking great, man. I mean, I'm happy for them. They didn't even make it to 23 wins last year. They were they had the 28 game losing streak, the infamous 28 game losing streak last year. By this time, they only had 5 or 6 wins by this time of the NBA basketball last year compared to this year, and they're doing really, really well. They are freaking solid for a team that nobody expected to do much. They've been sneaky, pretty sneaky.
I certainly didn't expect this. I knew the Pistons were going to get better, but I still had them pretty significantly out of the playoff hunt. And I mean, of course, you're going to attribute a lot of the success to Cade Cunningham really taking that step. And I think so many people are calling for him to be freed from Detroit or whatever it is. And well, I don't know. Maybe they're not building quite the Death Star as they had in the early 2000s. You talk about Rasheed and Ben Wallace and Tayshaun Prince and Richard Hamilton. But, I mean, something's brewing up there. And it seems like they have a centerpiece and actually have somewhat of a roster around him to at least compete. I wasn't really sold on them being all that until I think they beat the Knicks recently. And then that kind of turned my head a little bit. I'm not trying to hate Brian by any means, but like,
Yeah,
also, they beat the Rockets. They also beat the Rockets too.
Yeah, they beat the
two
Rockets
games
the other
ago.
day. Yeah.
Beat the Rockets too.
Yeah, they
like, handsomely. They were up by 10 and end of the first quarter, and the Rockets couldn't get within 5 points.
Yeah.
Like, they beat them handsomely.
Something's going on in Detroit. That's good. I think those after the Lions got bounced from the NFL playoffs, I think these fans can use that. So
yeah, they can definitely use some of the Lions licking their wounds and look at Detroit basketball right now. It's good.
Yeah, and it's crazy because I couldn't even tell you what it is exactly because I was looking at the standings and like other stats within that. Out of like the seeds 1 through 10, like in the East, like playoff to like top seed to play in, them and the Bulls are the only teams with losing records at home. So it's not even like they're playing well in front of their fans, like defending their home court. They're just getting hot on the road.
Yeah. They do have something going on that might kind of replicate what the Rockets did last year, and that's fast break points. So overall stats, they're third in the league in fast break points per game, 18.2. The Rockets from last year, from what I believe, they were a top 3 in fast break points last year. They pretty much orchestrated their offense through good defense, and their defense is top 10 usually around deep. Top 15 in opponent points per game, but top 10 in fast break points, opponent points, top 10 in assists, top 10 total rebounds from all opponents, top 10 in opponent assist field goals made per game, and also in turnovers. They are top 10 in all of those on the defensive end.
Yeah. I think that's a good point, Jeremy. You talk about the fast break point specifically. The only thing I could think of is I knew going into the season this was kind of like an undersized roster. I don't think they have a 7-footer on their roster. A lot of the key contributors that you think about, Tobias Harris, Cade Cunningham, Tim Hardaway Jr., whoever else it is. They're not the tallest guys or whatever. So that's kind of what you have to do to be able to compete. The advantages of playing small is that you get out and transition and go. So if you're
Absolutely.
not top 5, top whatever it is in fast break points, it's not going to end well for you because then you're playing small with none of the inherent advantages. However, you said they're third in fast break points. It sounds like they're doing a pretty good job of that. I think, the league's obviously kind of come to more of a more geared towards the scoring ability of guards and forwards and stuff like that. Not necessarily the big men days that we used to have, but it says something that JB Bickerstaff, former Cavs coach, going up there and kind of saw the roster he had and says, all right, well, we got to play the hand that we're dealt. We're going to play fast, and fast they have played. Got to tip the cap to them. Although I know a lot of Cavs fans don't agree with me there. They do not like JB Bickerstaff. So
they don't.
That's a different conversation.
I feel like Bickerstaff is good with young players. I mean, and the Cavs were young players too. It just I don't know. The Cavs had good records with Bickerstaff. They just didn't go far in the playoffs, and I think that's kind of the coach he is. Like he'll make a team that's young, that has an experience. That's really all he'll have.
I 100% agree. I think he's a good players coach when it comes to the strategy and X's and O's. Not that I know everything, but it seems like that's where he gets out coached. Like when, obviously the Tom Thibodeau masterclass against him in the playoffs a couple years ago. I mean, there's no other way to describe it. That was FU basketball by the Knicks.
Pretty much.
That's all.
Plus, I mean, I don't know. This might be a big blow to the Pistons, but Jaden Ivey out for the year. They played Jaden Ivey over Killian Hayes. Actually, last year they played Killian Hayes over Jaden Ivey thanks to Monty Williams. But then they decided to drop Hayes and put Ivey back, and now he's more the focal point, like he was in his rookie year. And he's got a 47-40 split, 47% from the field and 40% from deep. He's out for the year now, but he's only played 30 games. But he was a prime culprit in contributing to the Detroit Pistons offense. Next to Cade Cunningham, and it's been good. It was good, but I'm not sure what will happen after his absence, but we'll see. We'll see.
Now they're relying on Tim Hardaway Jr. to pick up the load
in his 11th year or something, whatever it is.
Tim Hardaway Jr. Oy.
It made sense at the time, but now looking forward this year, just seeing how the players played, they should have never traded Quentin Grimes for Tim Hardaway Jr. too Nick bust, but
Yeah.
Hey, UH legend. Come on, man.
sure.
UH legend. He's a good guy. I met him before. Good dude.
You met Q Dot?
I did. I was in college when he played. Yeah. All right. Yeah, it was cool. My last year in college, then COVID hit and yada yada yada.
Old ass.
And COVID's been 5 years since COVID.
I don't like the way you said that.
All right. We're gonna end this podcast off with Butler. We didn't talk about Jimmy Butler last podcast episode, but he was suspended for 7 games from Pat Riley. Pat Riley suspended for 7 games because he kept vocalizing he wanted to be traded. He's not really playing hard. He's missing practice. He's not really like taking anything seriously in Miami. And then he came back, and then he was suspended again. I think it was because he was wearing Phoenix Sun colored shoes.
Well, I know it's because he was suspended 2 games this time, but I thought it was because he also missed a flight. He missed a team flight.
Oh, okay. Well,
that's on brand.
I mean, it's a 2-day road trip. It's a 2-game road trip, so he's not going to come back. Obviously,
there was also rumors too that during the NBA Finals in 2020, he was staying like at his own hotel, like 90 miles away.
Oh, so Rachel Nichols drove 90 miles, and
I thought this is a podcast she wasn't going to get brought up in. We were so close.
You mentioned the freaking bubble, dude. You mentioned it.
That's true. I did to myself.
Oh, we made it almost
You gave me a layup, my guy.
I did. I was like prime Clippers CP3, and you Blake Griffin slammed it home.
Lob City, baby.
Absolutely. Yeah, I never really expected Butler to act like this. I mean, I was on his side with whenever he was acting on a more discount version of this in Minnesota, because during that practice where he was playing against the starters, and his team was the bench, and he completely just mopped the floor against the starters, against Cat, against Andrew Wiggins and company. And he's like, I'll beat all of y'all. Y'all are soft. Y'all don't play hard or whatever. And that to me screams Kobe Bryant. That's Kobe Bryant, you know? So I was on his side with that. Like, yeah, embarrassing, but it kind of made sense. Andrew Wiggins is not the player you want to rely on as a number 1 option. Cat has grown, but back during that time, he was kind of a kid, kind of a little boy. Now he's grown. He's doing really well for himself. This situation, it's very immature. It's kind of embarrassing.
It should make a great documentary one day, though. Like, that's my thing. I just want to know what happened. Like, we're hearing like Butler's kind of like diva-ish reaction, but like, I want to know what like other players on the Heat, like Spoelstra, Pat Riley, what they think of this. I mean, now when Butler came back from his 7-game suspension, a lot of the Heat players were like joking around, like, because it was a home game too, and they were joking around when like his name got announced and stuff.
Yeah.
So, like, I don't know.
Yeah. The announcer did his whole like starting lineup thing, and whenever they named Jimmy Butler, they were boos, and also he was just kind of just like he's just not really feeling like he wasn't feeling it. He just wasn't. He was unamused by what was going on.
Just such an insane turnaround from where the Heat were before and how beloved.
2 years ago, just 2 seasons ago.
Yeah,
like when the Heat came from the 8th seed to the finals, beat the Celtics, beat the Bucks. I mean, they beat the odds and went straight to the finals. For Butler to act like this when the Heat have been to 2 finals in his tenure, I think it's been 5 years now, 6 seasons, 5-6 seasons.
Yeah,
it's not bad for a player like himself. It's not bad.
No,
it's not.
Of course, he wants a ring. Anybody would want a ring, but still, not bad from what you've done.
I respect him trying to play some hardball against Pat Riley in terms of holding his ground and stuff like that. You're not going to win playing hardball against.
Yeah, you're not going to win against. You're not going to win against the Godfather, dude. I'm sorry.
That's a scary man, even however old he is
Yeah.
now. I would be scared to try and intimidate that man.
Yeah, I mean, I don't
I
know.
wish he stayed in New York.
Yeah. That would have been something. Pat Riley, Knicks coach through those 90s teams up until he jumped ship for the Heat after that, I think.
He
Right?
jumped ship for
Yeah,
the
he
Heat
got
for management.
and they got LeBron, and that's why they got LeBron. He thought because LeBron wanted to follow Pat Riley, thought he was staying in New York, and then he's like, "Nope, yeah, I'm going to Miami."
Yeah.
Probably
Where
the
do
best
you-
decision Pat Riley ever made in his life, though. I'll be honest.
Unfortunately, yeah.
Where do you think he's going to go? If you're to be
Well,
traded, there's some rumblings of him going to Phoenix, and then Bradley Beal getting dealt in a 3-team deal. Him going to like I don't know Detroit or something.
Yeah, it was funny because Butler said like he's pretty much open to he wants to go anywhere except Memphis. So like that's also I'm kind of wondering why does he not want to go to
Why
Memphis?
Memphis?
But they were saying he was also saying like he's fine with going to Phoenix, and they're like, do you want to be like you might if you go to Phoenix, you'd probably be the third scoring option behind Booker and Durant. And he's like, yeah, that's fine. He goes, there's no way I could be a third option in Miami. Like indirectly hinting at like Tyler Hero and Bam stuff.
He's going to be a third option. You got KD and Book.
Yeah, no, he was, but like the whole thing was like he was saying he's fine with it being in third option in Phoenix, but like he hates being the third option in Miami. So maybe it almost seemed like he was kind of like jealous
Also,
that Bam and Hero are doing well.
Throwing his team under the bus.
The Suns aren't doing well, anyways. The Suns are just kind of coasting, and in the
but
worst
that's how
way.
every Jimmy Butler, or at least when he was in Miami, I don't really remember in Chicago, but like every Jimmy Butler Miami team coast and then got hot in the playoffs. So maybe that's his perfect calling.
You really think a Devin Book KD led Suns is just gonna coast and just get hot in the playoffs?
Yes.
Yeah, the Suns are pretty desperate. I think they're willing to try anything at this point, seeing that their big three, I use that term very loosely, and how that's been going for them so far. I think James Jones still being the executive over there, he might start to get a little desperate to make a big move.
He doesn't make he doesn't make the calls. You know who makes the calls?
Their owner, right?
Matt Ishbia makes the calls.
A lot.
I've met him before. I think I mentioned the podcast. I've met him before. It's a total nut job. He's like he's like the most salesy guy that's ever been sales.
Yeah,
super salesy guy.
I don't like that. Not a fan of that.
Yeah, he probably hits a lot of coke.
If it sells, I guess. Yeah, right.
Yeah, if it sells, I'm sure he can buy plenty of that with his money. He's worth $4 billion. But yeah, he's not a very. I mean, if he was a salesman like he is, he will definitely coach you really well to be a better salesperson. But I just don't see him as an owner. He just thinks that, oh, you need the big star, you need the big ass names to be on your team to get that chip. No, dude. No. You need a well-oiled machine. You need a well-coached team. People that like to play with each other.
I mean, I think you can have a star-studded team as long as you make it work.
It's
getting
not like
Bradley Beal doesn't make it work. That was
the big three era is no longer relevant anymore. That's gone. I don't know if it's ever coming back, but you need a team that has mostly team play, 3-point shooters, and a player that averages 25 a game. That's what you need.
The Nuggets and the Celtics over the last 2 years. That's a great way to describe those two teams.
Yeah.
You need passing, you need defense, you need bench play. The bench really is the tying factor.
You need a Derek White
team.
Everybody needs their Derek White somehow.
Everybody needs a Derek White. Everybody needs a Tyler Hero whenever he was a six man. You just need a player like them who can play defense, who can get you points, get you buckets whenever they need, but doesn't need to be the star guy, but also kind of needs to be there because the star guy needs that guy. Needs a Derek White.
Yeah.
Instead, you got a team that has too many stars that need the ball in their hands and who are worth $40+ million a year, each combined. It's not going to work anymore.
Managing an NBA roster is hard enough, but if you're doing it as an owner with very little basketball experience, I think it makes it that much harder. Let the basketball people do basketball.
He played college basketball, from what I recall. He played college basketball at University of Michigan.
Oh, well, that explains a lot, actually. Yeah, that
Oh,
explains how
I
they
was waiting. I was waiting for that one.
Go Buckeyes!
Yeah, no, he played college basketball there. And that was
Well,
good.
Andy, to your point about let the basketball guys do basketball things, sometimes that's not true. Look at the Hornets with Michael Jordan.
You know what? Man, basketball is hard, guys. That's the one thing I'm taking away from this. You're right, Brian. Shoot.
Yeah.
God.
What team? What team hired Isaiah Thomas to be their GM? I forgot.
Oh, God. I forgot
And they
about
fucking
that.
they fumbled.
That was awful too.
Oh, my.
Yeah.
Like, I remember this, and I actually don't know which team it was for.
So the Pistons?
Was
No.
it would make sense if it was the Pistons.
Yeah, we have the internet. We can look it up.
All right, you guys want the answer?
Yeah.
Well, it's two teams. One of them was mine.
Oh, the Knicks. Yes, the Knicks. Was that during
And
the
then
post
and then the Raptors.
Melo days? Or like during Melo days?
I feel like it was pre-Melo.
And that's when they really weren't that great. I mean, the last time they were great was like 2001, 2002.
Hey, we were great in 2013.
Well, before then, between
like pre-Melo to
post Patrick Ewing to pre-Melo, y'all were like just stuck. Yeah. I can't really think of a former player who's like a really, really good player.
You're talking coaching or executive?
Are you just thinking
executive, like GM
James
or
Jones looked smart for a while before the Beal
James
thing
Jones.
happened.
I mean, that's because before Matt Ishbia showed up, the Suns were good. They were really good. They had Chris Paul,
Would you count
Devin
Phil
Booker.
Jackson?
Yeah.
No,
because he was a good executive.
He was a coach. He was a 10-time coach champion.
Well, yeah, but he also played and he was
11-time coach champion.
He also was an executive too, though.
Yeah. Well, you can't really incorporate the triangle offense in the 2010s. That's what he was trying to do with Melo and Jerry West. Okay. Brock Kobe.
Yeah. Danny Ainge for the Celtics.
Danny Ainge, okay, outlier. Very good GM.
I think I agree with you, Jeremy, that it usually doesn't work out, but the times that it works out,
solid player
it works out.
Solid GM too. Really crafted those trades. I think it was Danny Ainge's. He was behind the Jason Tatum, like the acquisition of the Jason Tatum pick and Jaylen Brown pick.
Oh, Danny Ainge.
Yeah. We're just talking about Danny Ainge. We're just talking about him.
Yeah, Danny Ainge is big.
Yeah.
I mean, the other one I'll say, Elgin Baylor did an okay job with the Clippers, but he also had to deal with Donald Sterling as the owner. So
that's true.
Yeah.
I mean, you anybody who dealt with Donald Sterling in the upper, the front office, you get a pass because the Clippers sucked. You get a pass, dude.
Your record is not as tarnished.
Your record. The reason why your record is what it is because Donald Sterling was there.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. Another bad example is Landry Fields. Because is he still the GM of the Raptors?
He's the GM.
No,
of the Raptors?
that's Masai Ujiri.
Oh, then
he might be president, or is he?
Or wait, is the Hawks?
No, Masai Ujiri is the GM. I'm pretty sure.
Fields is in an executive office.
But I mean, I know that Masai Ujiri is the GM.
That's just hilarious to me.
Sorry, he's the GM of the Hawks.
Oh, he's president. My bad. President.
Landry Fields, really?
Yeah.
What?
He's been the GM of the Hawks since 2015.
How did that
he's
happen?
drafted Trae Young. So
he drafted Trae Young. I mean, he got Jalen Johnson,
Dyson Daniels.
Okay.
Maybe he hasn't been that terrible.
He had DeJounte Murray for a time until that didn't work out.
He had a rental of DeJounte Murray, yes.
Yeah. I think that was a good trade. I thought that on paper was good.
Yeah, I thought on paper that was good too.
Yeah. I think we can cut this podcast now.
Cut those nets, Jeremy.
I think we're gonna cut those nets, baby.
I'm so unfunny.
Did you want to talk about the shot clock thing or no?
Turning into a circle?
Yeah.
We could just do that as a real quick final thoughts, real quick, if you want to do that.
Okay. We can do a one-word segment. One word.
All right.
Shot clock changing to a circle from a square. One word. Go ahead.
Pointless.
Why?
Just because.
No, I said no. That's my word. Why?
Oh.
Irrelevant. There we go.
That's my word. Is
Unnecessary.
Yeah. It's not even for a sponsorship or anything. I don't think it's just
No,
because.
it's both Tissot. The shot clock for the square was Tissot. It's the same for the circle.
Oh wait, don't they make watches? So it looks more like a watch, maybe. Oh,
that's why. Yeah, brought you by Tissot.
I just put that together. That's
oh my god, dude! It's been
Oh,
Tissot for years.
Come on, man. I don't
Tissot for
think
years,
very
my
well.
guy.
I'm a Cavs fan. Give me a break.
Yeah, you guys think with your emotions.
Go Cavs.
Just a small kid.
Alrighty, guys, we're gonna cut this short. Thank you all so much for watching. Please make sure to follow us on all our socials, Instagram, Twitter, @CutTheNets_BSP. Also subscribe on our YouTube. Follow us on our Spotify and our TikTok. We're going to be uploading short form content again. Don't you worry. On Reels, YouTube Shorts, TikTok, whole 9 yards. You guys might have to
people that still have TikTok.
Yeah, I deleted TikTok when they got banned, and they got unbanned, and then I don't have TikTok. So
I heard CapCut's back for people that actually know how to video edit it, which is good.
Oh, great! I missed that. I haven't used CapCut in like a week and a half either. So
cool.
But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. It's been Cut the Nets signing out. Thanks for watching.